post-Christmas and New Year's or whenever this video comes out. It's a bit of a janky setup, but it's a new year, so I figured I would go through some of my favorite photos that I took in 2021. I just kind of went through all my photos, picked ones that I liked. Honestly, on a lot of them, I'm probably not gonna have much more to say other than I like it and I can't really explain why. So they're not in any particular order. I wish they were, but that would take too much time. So we're just gonna go for it. All right, I took this picture on my Olympus OM1 when I had lent the camera to this friend right here. Her name's Beck. Hey Beck, if you're watching. And yeah, we were setting up for this like youth event at our church, and she was taking some photos, and she thought it was funny that she had a party hat on, so I quickly grabbed the camera and snapped this photo of her for her. And I think the colors are really solid. Her outfit's all coordinated. The hat looks great. I like how sharp she is, and the slight difference in the background and the color of her hat like mixes really well with the rest of the fun colors. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a good photo of Beck. I think it's a solid photo of Beck. I don't take many portraits, and so I'm happy when one turns out that is good. Next photo. If you're a fan of the channel, then you've probably seen this photo before. This was in my walkthrough of my hometown. And it's like a cherry blossom tree. I took 3 different photos of this. 2 of them were close focus on the branches in front. This was the only photo I took with a further focus of the branches at the top of the tree, and I much preferred this one. And I just really like how the colors turned out on this. This was Color Plus, my favorite film stock. It's never let me down, and this one is one of my faves. So I don't shoot much black and white, but I did shoot 1 roll of Ilford 3200 this year. This was this one shot that I guess technically isn't, I don't know, is the interior or exterior dependent on where the camera was or where the subject is? Because I was inside, but this is looking through a window in my living room. Who doesn't love a classic car? And then this woman was just sitting there. I think she was smoking, although you can't really tell in the photo. Love the grain that you get in 3200. I'm still a sucker for grain. Maybe as I shoot more, I'll grow out of it, but as of right now, still love some good grain. Yeah, solid. I don't know. I like it. The framing is interesting, I think. Her pose isn't quite what I wish her pose was more interesting. She's kind of just a blob. I don't know. But I like it. I do like this photo, but if I could improve one thing about it, she would be sitting maybe more facing the camera, and honestly probably facing the other direction. I don't like, it looks like she's kind of getting forced into the side. We have to go a lot faster. I have quite a few photos. So this was shot on my Pen F. I'm not really into the whole idea of like all the diptychs that people will do with their half frame cameras. I'm not really into it, but I think this one turned out really nice. So the reason the left side of this frame is just a wash is because right after this shot, get to the top of the mountain, I keep advancing the film. My Pen F actually rips the film out of the spool. Didn't realize this. Tried to rewind the film, open the back of the camera, just absolutely destroy a couple of shots. And this was the first one that didn't get destroyed from me not realizing I wasn't able to rewind the film. But I think there's like the red right in the middle of this chairlift matches quite well with the kind of red tones over in the left. And so I think I like that a lot. And also just the color of these 3 jackets are really, really solid. I really like the way those look. And they're all skiers, so, you know, that's fun, because I'm a skier. Next one. I'm actually going to move my little recording device over here, so when I turn to look at the camera, it can still pick me up. So this has some of my favorite things in it. It's got a blue sky, which I love. It's got a close shot of angles in architecture, which are great. And it's got telephone lines, which I adore. I know those are all very basic things. Instagram is full of film photographers just taking photos of corners of buildings, and I'm one of them. I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll grow out of it, but I'm going through it right now. So be patient with me. But I like how this one turned out. I'm very happy with all the lines. I like how that jagged bit at the top kind of stays in between those 2 telephone lines. If there was a telephone line going directly through that, I think that would annoy me. I like the gradient of how light the building gets towards the top, and I feel like that shade of white goes really well with the pale blue behind it. And I like how that one top telephone line just has that one odd little spot that doesn't have any rubber on it and is exposed cable. Just add a little bit of interest to it. Dig it. This is one of those photos that I cannot tell you why I like it. But every single time I'm going through my photos from last year, I always stop at this one. I like it so much. I don't know why, but I really like this photo. It's just a van. It's a van in a parking lot. There's nothing around it. I think maybe that's what I like. It's just very isolated, but I couldn't tell you. It's a bad van. It's an ugly van. Although, like, the reflection in the very back window kind of looks like a palm tree to me. It's not. This is Red Hook. I don't know. I like this one. Can't say anything else about it. This photo. This is one of the first photos I took on my Pen F. And friends of the channel, of course, will know Sissy, as she is the brains behind this whole operation. We were just walking around and I was trying some night shots. This is not a high ISO film. I think this was probably shot at like a 15th of a second shutter speed. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, considering. And yeah, this is in Soho. Some fancy like hotel has this set up. It's really pretty. Great shot. Love the colors, love the lighting, as it just kind of like falls on Sissy. Sissy's always a great subject to shoot. Yeah, happy with it. Really like it. So as I just mentioned, super basic with the angles in the buildings, but I've been having kind of fun messing with Dutch angles with buildings, like aligning the roof line of the building to the edge of the frame rather than keeping the actual building itself straight up. And I really enjoy this. It's big, like, it's like Inception-y, and Christopher Nolan would probably love this photo. That's quite the claim that I just made there, but I'm going to stand by it. I like how the one light at the top of the building in the foreground, those windows are illuminated. I like that because it's quite a blue photo, but there's just that splash of warmth kind of towards the center. And I really, really like that. And also the detail on the buildings is just gorgeous. I love all these buildings in downtown Manhattan. They're so pretty. Lot going on in this photo. I like busy photos. It's not quite as sharp as I wish it was. I wish this was on 120. I wish I had shot this on 120 and not on 35mm, but I didn't. I just like the chaos that's happening behind these gates and all the signs on the gate and whatever the heck this thing is hanging on the left gate. Really, really like this one. This is almost like one of those, you ever play those like I Spy books? Remember those I Spy books when you were a kid? Where you had to like find all the things? I feel like I could make one out of this. I Spy the 409 cleaner. There it is. All right. Again, this is one of those photos I can't really tell you why I like it. I'm really not too sure. I remember as I was taking the photo, I really liked how the light was following the wall and the angles, and I liked that the door was orange. I really like the color orange. But the photo itself ended up being kind of overexposed, so it's a little desaturated, but I kind of like the one random 5 over in the left. Again, it's just kind of decrepit and dirty, and it just gives texture. I like how much texture the photo has. It's got a lot of space, depth to it. Oh, and I like those shadow lines over on the right. Ooh, I just noticed those. I like those, how they kind of parallel the fence over on the left. And it's probably a shadow from another fence that's just slightly out of frame. Like it a lot. Next photo. Ooh. Ooh. Mmm. Ooh. Love this photo. This is a good photo. I really like this photo. Ooh. The little, ooh. The doorknob. That's the doorknob in my bedroom. It's right up, you can't see it, but it's right. It was one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites from last year. Just the light from the window, bang, shining off this doorknob. The reflections in the doorknob are fun. Little hat in the corner, little visual interest. That's my dad's old hat. It's beat to hell, but it's a great old hat. Fun fact, in my apartment, I have the only 3 closets in the entire apartment in my room. Get on that. Just really like how hard the shine is and the highlights. I like it a lot. Really a fan. So this is entirely different to any other photo I've ever taken, because this was a project for my church. We went out to Montauk, out the end of Long Island, to shoot some stuff for a new series that we were doing, and we had some other people from church act as models, and so that's not the kind of photography I do at all. I have never posed somebody for a photo, like genuinely. I have maybe 4 or 5 photos of these hands, but this is the only one with the arm really coming into the foreground, and I like that a lot. I think it just adds some movement to it and kind of draws your eye into the group of hands, and then you kind of follow it like a ladder up, and it kind of has this cycle going where you follow the arm down to the hand, climb the rest of the hands, and then bring it back over to the side. You do just see, I think that was Ezra's nose right there in the top right, and I should have just cropped that out, but this actually is a raw scan. I don't think I actually edited this photo. I've noticed there are a handful of my friends that are always just doing interesting things and always look really good, and I'll take photos of them a lot. Malachi is one of them. This is out at the Rockaways. His shirt, the color of his pants are just great. The red on his shirt and the white just really pops. I really, really like it. Again, this is on my AF2. Guys, I cannot praise The Minolta Himatic AF2, enough. It's such a good point and shoot camera. Get on it. Took the photo right as the break hit. It was so good. This is another one of my friends who I'm constantly taking photos of because she's always in interesting spots. Olivia. So this is from her birthday. She liked flowers. One of her roommates was like, Olivia likes flowers. Guys, everyone, let's get flowers for her. And towards the end of the birthday party, we put all the flowers around her and took a photo and like crowned her the flower queen or something like that. But I like this, not so much compositionally, just the colors are really fun. And I feel like it's just one of those photos that if you were to find it somewhere, you just like know there's a story behind it. And that's what I really like about it. Like, it's so posed. She's just got a great smile on her face. The flowers all over the place. I just really like it. Great photo. It just feels like it's a moment. It's a moment, which I like that. It's very much like a moment snapshot, and I enjoy that. As is this photo, but for very different reasons. This was actually during a music video that my friend directed for another mutual friend of ours. She was putting out a music video, and disaster struck. And before anyone got any towels, I just knew I wanted a photo of this hilarious moment. Just the Dunkin' Donuts and just the sheer explosion of milk that is on the ground. And you can just kind of see the dribble of milk over on the top of the table where it came from. So there's a little story there. You can kind of follow it down. Compositionally, it's not great, but it's got the hard flash, and again, this is one of those photos that has a story behind it, so I very much enjoy it. But a twofer, we got Malachi and Olivia in the same photo. But yeah, again, really like the colors of Malachi's shirt, and he's matching it with the headband. Malachi is a man who knows how to dress. And there's just a lot going on. Again, just a very busy photo. Just notice this like wine bottle in the front with the clear cup on top. Really like that. The green cup over there matches the grass and the blanket really well. That slight orange in the branches to the right, I feel like goes well with Malachi's shirt. And he's definitely the main focus, and just the look on his face is very good. He's got a very good look on his face. But then just the fact that there's kind of a second point of focus over at Olivia's face, because she's also quite in focus and very animated. So I kind of like the juxtaposition of him looking quite kind of serious and stern and almost isolated, clearly just on the outskirts of this party that's happening. I'm reading a lot into a photo that I just took in a moment, so like, call me out on my bullshit, but I like it a lot because he's like on the outskirts of the party. There's no one to his right. His back is to the emptiness, and he's facing the party, but it's not really like he's involved in the party. So I could wax poetic about this photo for ages, but I think that's been enough. Let's continue. Ooh, this is along the West Side Highway. And I saw this, I was gonna say building. It's not. It's just an elevated road. I think this might be Port Authority. I don't think we were that far north. This might be Port Authority, but I'm not sure. I just like the shape. The curve is very nice. And with the street lights up top in the sky, like it a lot. Like it a lot. And the do not enter being slightly out of focus in the foreground. Big fan. Oh! All right, you're about to see a couple of my favorite photos that I took this year. All of these are some of my favorite photos I took this year, but these are some of my truly my favorites. This is out of the Rockaways. This is Cinestill 50D, and I'm going next summer. I'm just gonna buy a ton of 50D and take it to the beach because I love shooting it at the beach. Just these guys hanging out. This is my Pen F. Love it. Love the colors. Love the tiers of the sky, ocean, sand. They're right in the transition. The orange and the reds are all like the artificial things in the photos just pop and stand out. Love it. And this old man just sitting there again, like right in the transition. Such a vibe. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about it. I like this photo. Malachi's back. Just look at this. Look at this photo. It feels like a photo out of the 60s. It's so good. I know I'm tuning my own horn here. But yeah, I just really like this photo. Looks solid. Like the framing. And this. I love taking photos of garbage. I can't help myself. But this, it's just spilling all over the place. And then right at the top, the keep off the dunes up at the top. It's so good. And you can just see the slight like halation because it's Cinestill 50D on the crest of the dunes. Yeah, again, just like the colors, random little pops of red, little green over there. It's a bike. I like bikes. I ride a bike. I like the bikes. Again, I'm noticing a lot of my photos have like red as the subject. I like red, apparently, against other colors when it's the only red in the photo. And then like, yeah, there's greens and blues and grays and then red with the bike. I like it. I like how it's not entirely straight, slightly off kilter. It's good. Again, like just a little pop of orange and reds, the warm pops of color in otherwise very cold photos. I like it. This is out at Long Beach Island. I went there with my family. Just a pole. It's a pole. Yeah, the little orange, the pop of orange is my favorite part. I feel like it draws the eye. And the transition of color just of the pole from quite gray at the top to very warm towards the bottom. Yeah, I like it. I feel like the background isn't the most interesting, but it's the beach. This genuinely, I think, is my favorite photo I took last year. I think if I had to pick one, it'd be this one. But this couple just sitting here, all the colors in the blankets, and just her arm just going up around the back of the chair. She took her arm down for a while, and I was so annoyed because I didn't get the photo, but she put her arm back up, and I just knew I had to get the photo, and I was so nervous about how close I was to them when I was taking it, but I love this photo, just the shine off his chair, and how it just gets smaller and smaller as you go to the right. There's them, and then there's another couple down there, again, different colors. They've got this blue and this yellow, and then they've got the kind of this teal and this orange. And then as you go, the chairs are gone, and there's just this family hanging out in the water, and I just love how it kind of pulls your eye along with it. But just that little arc right there of the hand over the towel with the stripes and on the shoes, ugh. I love this photo. I am so happy with this photo. Just 10 out of 10 all around. This is in New Hampshire, or maybe Vermont. It's right on the border. And this was some expired 1600 speed Fujifilm. The guy who sold it to me claimed that it was refrigerator stored. I don't think that is true, because it was in really bad shape. But this was one of the good photos I got out of it, even though it's a night shot. And I just love that deep blue against that maroon. I really, really like it's the colors in this that does it for me. That like maroon and orange against that such a deep teal, or like a royal blue. I don't know exactly what you would call it, in a slight gradient as it goes down. Really like it. And I like the light post in the top left. And I think this is the last photo. Same film stock in my uncle's cabin up in Vermont, just looking out a window. And it's so grainy. There's so much noise. It annoys me because it's digital noise. So I would really want to do a very like high-res scan of this to try and get rid of a lot of that digital noise, but I really like it. It just, again, that center focus. I just center a lot of my photos, if you haven't noticed. And I love the deep greens, that, you know, Pacific Northwest green of the pine tree with the snow. I just like, it's a very pretty calming shot. It's a very calm shot for me. Yeah. Actually, wait, no, that's not the last one. I still have more. There's more. Look at that. Surprise. I try interior shots a lot. I try a lot of interior shots, so none of them ever come out. I'm never happy with any of my interior shots. But this one, I really liked. And this was with my AF2, I think. So I couldn't really pick focus, so I was hoping it would focus on the interior. Actually, maybe I was trying to focus on the exterior. Honestly, I was probably trying to shoot through the window and have this blurry. But I like this so much more. Just, again, just that look, that the cool tones, the cool shades, and the one ring of beads and the second ring of beads over to the right. I just like how shiny it kind of feels. And it feels very warm through that crack in the middle, but over to the right, it's very cool. Again, like a warm center with the cool around it. I'm realizing I do that a lot. I'm digging it. I can dig it. Yeah, I like it. Like the focus. Nailed it. And this, I think, I genuinely think this is the last photo. This is my friend Isa. A bunch of us went apple picking, and she climbed up a tree. And I asked her to turn around, and I got this photo, and I absolutely love it. I love how her face is just like peeking out. You can tell there's a big grin on her face, but the leaves are covering her smile, and I really like it. And there's this light leak down in the bottom because I think I accidentally opened the back of my camera, not realizing I had an old roll sitting in it. So I think that's a bit of a burn from opening the back of the camera. And again, Hymatic AF2. I cannot praise this camera enough. It is not an expensive camera, guys. Go buy a Minolta Hymatic AF2. It's not... I picked way too many photos. I am sorry, guys. I'm not through this yet. This is out on Governor's Island. I just like the symmetry. Really like it. The wind just blew these two rags apart. Like the highlights, like it. Shadows, great. This damn photo looks like an ad. I don't know what stars aligned for this photo to look the way that it does, but I've never taken a photo that has had this feel to it, and it stands wholly alone from any other photo I've ever taken. It's just, it looks like a commercial. I didn't stage this photo. These things were just there, and I took a photo. It's ridiculous. Like, all the colors, every color is in this photo. It's fantastic. I love it. It's so good. I love this photo. I want to print it out and like put it in a McDonald's. It's so good. Oh, and that's the last one. That is the last one. Well, guys, there are some of my photos, some of my favorites from 2021. I will continue to take photos in 2022 and hopefully put out some videos in 2022. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.